by Ronnie Giagons, Leonard Bermejo, and Fyodor Yerachkin. The waves of backdoor-laden spam emails we observed during June and July that targeted Russian-speaking businesses were part of bigger campaigns. The culprit appears to be the Cobalt group, based on the techniques used. In the recent campaigns, Cobalt used two different infection chains, with social engineering hooks that were designed to invoke a sense of urgency in its recipients, the bank's employees. Cobalt was named after Cobalt Strike, a multifunctional penetration testing tool similar to Metasploit. The in-group misused Cobalt Strike, for instance, to perpetrate ATM cyber heists and target financial institutions across Europe, and interestingly, Russia. Unlike other groups that avoid Russia or Russian-speaking countries to elude law enforcement, Cobalt's attack patterns suggest that the group uses Russia as a testing ground where they try their latest malware and techniques on Russian banks. If successful, they go on to attack financial institutions outside the country. This resembles the tactics of another cybercriminal group, Lurk. Of note were Cobalt's other targets. The in-group's first spam run also targeted a Slovenian bank, while the second run targeted financial organizations in Azerbaijan, Belarus, and Spain. Changing tacks apart from using a different vulnerability, 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos, what's unique in the latest spear phishing campaigns, compared to their previous spam runs and even other related cybercriminal campaigns, is an apparent role change. The modus commonly seen in attack chains that target end users, i.e., bank customers, is now leveled against the banks themselves. While they previously posed as sales and billing departments of legitimate companies, they're now masquerading as the customers of their targets' banks, a state arbitration court, and ironically, an anti-fraud and security company notifying the would-be victim that his internet resource has been blocked. They also diversified attacks. The first spam run on August 31 used a rich text format RTF document laden with malicious macros. The second, which ran from September 20 to 21, used an exploit for 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos patched last September, a code injection remote code execution vulnerability in Microsoft's .NET framework. The vulnerability was used to retrieve and execute Cobalt Strike from a remote server they controlled. We also saw other threat actors using the same security flaw of late, like the cyber espionage group Chessmaster. Below are snapshots of some of the spam emails they sent to their targets. Figure 1: spam emails containing RTF documents embedded with malicious macros. Infection chain via macros. Here's a visualization of this infection chain. Figure 2: infection chain of Cobalt's latest spear phishing campaign using malicious macro. The RTF file contains macro code that will execute a PowerShell command to retrieve a dynamic link library DLL file before executing it using odbcconf.exe, a command line utility related to Microsoft Data Access Components. The DLL will drop and execute a malicious JScript using cve-2017-8759, another command line utility, to download another JScript and execute it using the same cve-2017-8759. This JScript will then connect to a remote server and wait for backdoor commands. During analysis, we received a PowerShell command that downloads Cobalt Strike from hxxps 5.135.237.216 It will ultimately try to connect to their command and control CC server 5.135.237.216.443, which we found located in France. Figure 3: the malicious RTF file asking would-be victims to enable content left and what happens after clicking it when the macro codes are run right. To further illustrate this infection chain, after clicking enable content, it will run the macro codes that will check if the machine is 64-bit, decrypt and execute a PowerShell command, remove the picture in the document, and write "call me" in it. The PowerShell command is for downloading a DLL file from hxxp via fraudmonitoring.comt.dll, saving it in the affected machine, then executing it via the command odbcconf.exe, regsvrc, users, public, file.dll. The DLL file will drop a Windows script component SCT file embedded with JScript in the %appdata% folder using a random name and append it with a text extension. Figure 4. The macro codes above and the DLL file executing the SCT file via regsvr32.x below. The SCT file will check if the system has an internet connection. If it's connected, it will proceed to download and execute a backdoor from the remote server. Figure 5. The file downloaded from the remote server, which is actually a backdoor. Some of the backdoor's commands are dexic, download and execute p file more_eggs, download additional scripts gtfo, delete files, startup entries and terminate more_onion, run additional script more_power, run command shell commands, infection chain via 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos. The RTF attachment used in their second spam run contained an exploit for 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos. It entails downloading a specified Simple Object Access Protocol SOAP web services description language WSDL definition from a remote server, which is injected into memory. The codes include downloading and retrieving Cobalt Strike, which will connect to the CC server 86.106.131.207 and wait for commands. Figure 6. Infection chain using 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos. Figure 7. Spam emails whose attachments contain an exploit for 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos. The same exploit technique has been employed to deliver the cyber espionage malware FinSpy. In Cobalt's case, a SOAP moniker is embedded in the RTF file, which facilitates the exploit for 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos by retrieving the malicious SOAP WSDL definition via hxxp service centrum.infotis.xml. Contents of this extensible markup language XML file will be parsed, which will generate a source code CS file. It will then be compiled by the .NET framework, which Microsoft Office will load as a library. Depending on the infected machine's architecture, the library will inject codes that will download and execute the final payload. It's named ZXT6 in 32-bit systems and MZBT in 64-bit machines. The endgame is to connect to the CC server 86.106.131.207, which we found located in Germany. The final payload is a DLL that is a component of Cobalt Strike. It will connect to 86.106.131.207.443 to wait for further commands. This is what the attacker's panel looks like when trying to interact with a targeted victim's Figure 8 dashboard of Cobalt Strike, which is also abused by various attackers. Mitigations. Many security technologies and security researchers may be utilizing newer detection mechanisms, but cybercriminals are also keeping up, adjusting their tactics to evade them. In Cobalt's case, for instance, they've looked into instances of valid Windows programs or utilities as conduits that allow their malicious code to bypass whitelisting. Indeed, Cobalt in-groups attacks exemplify the importance of defense in depth. Here are some best practices to defend against these types of threats. Trend Micro Solutions. Trend Micro XGEN Security provides a cross-generational blend of threat defense techniques against a range of threats for data centers, cloud environments, networks, and endpoints. It features high-fidelity machine learning to secure the gateway and endpoint data and applications, and protects physical, virtual, and cloud workloads. With capabilities like web URL filtering, behavioral analysis, and custom sandboxing, XGEN protects against today's purpose-built threats that bypass traditional controls, exploit known, unknown, or undisclosed vulnerabilities. Smart, optimized, and connected, XGEN powers Trend Micro's suite of security solutions: hybrid cloud security, user protection, and network defense. Indicators of compromise: IOC's hashes related to the spear phishing campaign using malicious macro codes, SHA-256 email attachments, RTF files detected as W2KM_CALLEM, ZGEICCB1FA5CDBC402B912B01838C1F13E95E9392B3AB6CC5F28277CO12B07559F F9 DCAD7 F5135 FFA5E98067 FEC 2563 B8C 67934 EB3 B14 F1 AAD8 FF7 FA892 C5 malicious DLL file detected as TROJ_DROPFC KJS ZHEIA DAB 05E284 A9 CBC 89 D263798 Bay 40 C 9633 FF501 E19568 C2 circa 21 ADA 58 E90 D66891 malicious JScript file 35 CE74A54720.txt detected as JS_NAKJS ZGEIA2 B4760 B5 BBE 982 A7 E26 AF4 E618 F8 F2 DCC 67 DFEO211 F852 BF549 decibels 457 ACD 262 C malicious text file readme text detected as JS_GETFO ZIEIAE9 AB3195 F3A 974861 AA1135862 F6 C24 DF1 D7 F5820E8 C2 AC6 E61 A1 A5096457 FC3 backdoor RLXF detected as BKDR_Cobalt ZHEJA0 DEDB 345 D90 DBBA7 E83 B2 D618 C93 D701 ED9 E9037 AA3 B7 C7 C58 B62 times 10 to the 53 deca bit 7 D2 CE hashes related to the spear phishing campaign exploiting 20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos email attachments RTF files detected as TROJ_MDROP ZHEIAEB 4325 F1 CBFBA 85 B35 EEC 3204 E7 F79 E4703 BB 765 431 A 914 B 13288 DCF1 D 598 A029 UCC 74 F005 B2 E5 E0889 D1 FC 1711 F07688 B93 B16 EBC 3174895 D775 A16 A23 94155 A2940 A1 D49 A92 A602 A5232 F156 EB1 D 35018847 EDB9 C 6002 CEFE4 C49 F94 69 E55 D2 E3 207 E29 D9 EFC 806 FF36 F13 Candelas 49 FB92 F7 C12 F0145 F867674 B559734 A3 malicious XML file test.xml detected as TROJ_20,178,759 Cape Verde escudos ZIEIA0 F5C5 D07 ED0508875330A0 CB89 bar 3 F88 C58 F92 D5 B1536 D20190 DF1 EOOEB D3D91 backdoor ZXT6 detected as BKDR_Cobalt ZIEIA9 D9 D1 C246 bar 83 A646 DD9537 D665344 D6A611 E7 A279 DCFE 288 A37784 C31 FA89 C backdoor MZBT detected as BKDR64_Cobalt ZIEIAE 78 E800 BC 259 A46 D51 A866581 DC DC7 AD2 D05 DAR1 FA38841 A5 bar 534 A43 A8393 CE9 related malicious URLs HXXP via fraudmonitoring.comt.dll HXXPS webmail.microsoft.org.kz portal readme.txt xthxxps webmail.microsoft.org.kz portal ajax.php hxxp service centrum.infotis.xml hxxps 5.135.237.216 rl xfhxxps 86.106.131.207 zxt6 hxxps 86.106.131.207 mzb related post tags Cobalt cve-2017-8759 macro-based attack.